Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
In Bo we trust. Bo is the future. I just want to go back to August 19th when I've made it perfectly clear. When I make the Fantasy Football Championship and the Broncos make the playoffs because of the success of Bo Nix. The bar is low. Give me Bo. That's a good one. The bar is low. Give me Bo.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you got the update. An arrest has been made in the robbery of Penny Hardaway's front porch. 14 pairs of sneakers were taken from the University of Memphis legend, who is currently the head coach. But we found the person allegedly responsible for this. He looks like Bennett. He lives near me. It's a wild situation. I'll get you up to date momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Jessica Benson's going to be here. She's the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, having a party over there. 1,000th episode today. And they're celebrating. They got cakes and balloons. Bennett, I don't ever remember you getting me cakes and balloons.
Did they not get you a cake over the radio station?
Nobody has ever gotten me a cake or balloons for any professional reason in my life. Man. In my life. I'm happy for Jess, though. Not jealous, envious. I'm happy for her. She deserves to be celebrated. I'll celebrate her. She'll be here in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to Jessica Benson, I'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, former Memphis basketball player Tim Duncan is returning to his alma mater as a senior deputy athletics director. He's going to be working hand in hand with the men's basketball program. That's cool news. I'll tell you more about it in about 40 minutes. John Cena has named the person he believes is the GOAT of WWE. Get your ones up. I'll tell you what John Cena said a little later on in the show. 2-time Cy Young Award winner Jacob DeGrom pitched in a game last night for the first time in nearly 16 months. He touched 100. I'll tell you how he did in the third segment. Grammy nominee Jellyroll gave an inspiring talk to the Tennessee Titans. It was posted on social media. We'll show it to you in just a bit. And the 2024 college football season, oh, it's here, buddy. Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles got the high-profile game tomorrow. We'll get you ready for some college football We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the robbery of Penny Hardaway because an arrest has been made connected to the crime that has haunted our city ever since it became known that a man stole 14 pairs of specially designed Nikes from Penny Hardaway's front porch. The Tigers coach was the victim of a porch pirate. But yesterday, that porch pirate was arrested. He's been charged with a Class E felony. His name is Ronald James. That's him, age 42, residence Hernando, Mississippi. This fella is apparently my neighbor. He's a Hernando porch pirate, lives near me, looks like Bennett. What do you got to say for yourself? Do you know this man? Is he related to you? Is this your cousin?
Dude,
is that cousin Ronald?
If I look like that dude, then I'm gonna go jump in the Mississippi River right now. Okay.
I mean,
if you think if people for real think I look like that dude, then I'm giving up on life.
Take your head off.
Dude, I don't look like him, okay?
I mean, to get over here, let me trim that beard a little bit. Let me trim that beard just a little bit, buddy, and you're going straight to jail.
He's got more hair than I do.
Yeah, and more shoes.
And dude,
and more foam posits. How many pairs of foam posits?
He's also got massive ears, dude. I don't
have
ears
have big
like
ears.
that.
Well, let's see your ears. Let me check your ears out. No, you got normal size ears.
Yeah, I got regular ears.
You got regular. Dude,
that's not me, bro.
He does have big ears. He does have big ears. Okay, it's not you, but like you could.
I don't like that comp.
You could see it.
I don't like that comp.
Well, I wouldn't want to be compared to a 42-year-old porch pirate either, Bennett. I don't think anybody would, but you know.
I resented that yesterday when people were saying that I look like him.
I mean, if I trimmed that beard up and stretched your ears just a little bit, like if you gave me some clippers and like just let me do this to you, that's you. That's you.
No.
That's at least that could be your brother. That could be your older brother, your big brother, your big bro.
I don't appreciate that.
I mean, I wouldn't appreciate it either.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that.
But
I got a lot of listeners talking to me about that yesterday. I didn't appreciate that.
The streets thought that you robbed Penny Hardaway.
Mm-hmm. I didn't appreciate that.
So how do you think this man from Hernando ends up at Penny Hardaway's house stealing? How do you end up so far away from home stealing?
I mean, do we know if this is his if this is his first
I haven't
run
seen,
in with the law? Hang on, let me pull up the little thing that I sent.
There's nothing in any story that I've read that delivers his rap sheet, but I think I'm just going to use some common sense here. I think if you were 42 years old stealing piles of shoes from Penny Hardaway's front porch in broad daylight, it's probably not the first time you've committed a crime. You probably just don't wake up one day at the age of 42 and be like, you know what? I'm going to Memphis today to steal a bunch of shoes from the basketball coach. Probably just don't. That's not.
So I'm looking at the picture that we showed yesterday of the surveillance cam footage, and I mean he's definitely got on like a robber's outfit.
A robber's outfit.
Yeah, like the black sleeveless. Yeah.
Describe to me a robber's outfit.
Dude, it's just like he's wearing like sweatpants and like those like Terminator sunglasses, and he's got the what do we call those? You can't call them what people have always called them because it's like not the shirt with the no sleeves. You can't call them that.
You can't call them wife beaters?
I don't think you can call them that anymore.
I think people call them wife beaters still.
I don't think you
can't say that anymore?
I don't think you can say
that.
Well,
geez, I wish I'd have known that before I started talking.
You said
Can
it,
you still say that word? Let me Google it. Let's let Google figure it out.
To say.
It's as of May of 2018.
You can call them that?
Unless things have changed in the past 6 years, and I'm sure they have. But as recently as May of 2018, AI says that the term wife beater, or even shortened to a beater, he was wearing a beater.
No, put that back, Kyra. I want it back up there. I like looking at his face.
Because he looks like your face. Because he looks like a mirror.
Dude, he does not.
That
is such BS.
Give me some electric clippers and let me stretch your ears just a little bit. Give me 3 minutes to work on your ears. Let me stretch your ears out.
We do both have blue eyes.
Let me stretch your ears. Give me 5 minutes to trim that beard and stretch your ears.
What's going on right here? Is that like there's like some weird cuts going on right here?
Well, man, he's probably been through it, Bennett. You know? He's probably been through it a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you think you end up 42 years old from Hernando just going to rob the Memphis basketball coach of 14 pairs of shoes.
Oh, yeah. Someone points out that's probably could be methamphetamines that causes the breakdown of the skin.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a connection.
I won't pretend to.
I'm not sure there's a connection, but in all seriousness, if you have been reduced to a porch pirate, if you're in your 40s and you're a porch pirate, like if you're in your teens and you're a porch pirate, you might just be goofing around.
Yeah, right.
You might just be goofy and stupid, right? If you're 42 years old and you're a porch pirate, you've probably fallen on hard times.
Yes, I think that's accurate.
And I think not always, but often, I'm comfortable saying often, there's some drug stuff in there.
There's definitely some drug stuff in there. I mean, I don't know. It says the location that this happened at. I don't want to disclose Penny Hardaway's address or anything like that. But it says the area in East Memphis that it is. I'm wondering if it's like a gated area or what. Like that's how I'm trying to figure if this dude knew if it was Penny Hardaway's
house. He had a shopping cart,
right,
filled with shoe boxes.
I think you know what I think.
What do you think?
Honestly, if someone was going to ask me to bet, I would say he had no clue. He just knew it was a nice neighborhood.
Well, of course.
And there's a million packages on that porch.
And I'm going to go get them.
Yeah.
All right. Two things. One, how do you not assume in the year 2024 that in a neighborhood or on a street like Penny Hardaway Street, somebody's going to have a camera that's going to get you? How do you not assume that?
I know, dude. I know. It's crazy.
I wouldn't feel comfortable stealing my neighbor's garbage can because I'm assuming either our cameras or somebody else's cameras. I don't.
Yeah. Now this.
I assume I'm always on camera.
Now,
right now, when I leave here, I just assume I'm always on camera.
Now, apparently, he got busted not because of the camera. He got busted because apparently he was trying to flip the shoes, and people caught him because they were rare shoes.
But as I told you a couple days ago, whenever this story first broke, that surveillance footage of him, there are people who looked at that the same way you and I looked at that. And I looked at it and I went, I don't know him. He looks like Bennett, but I don't know this fella. And you looked at it and you're like, he looks like me, but I don't know this fella. Somebody looked at that and were like, that's Ronald. Somebody knew exactly who that was when they saw that. Just like if that was actually...
They knew what he was up to.
They knew what he was up to and they knew who he was. It was once that surveillance video hit the streets, it was over for this fella. So how do you not assume that you're on camera? How do you meth? Probably.
Yeah,
it's probably back
I don't
to
think
meth.
You're assuming things.
You're probably just not assuming anything at that point.
Yeah, one thing that I've learned recently is, there's all these people walking. I saw someone say this, and I was like, wow, there's all these people walking around in our world that have no inner dialogue going on in their head, and that's scary to think about.
People are wild.
I wonder if Ronald I don't think he's thinking about any of this.
He's probably fallen on hard times, in all seriousness.
Okay, well, I don't care.
You don't care.
No.
Bennett doesn't have a heart.
No, I told you how I feel about porch pirates, bro.
You're against them.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
against
care
them
what
too.
kind of times you've fallen on. People use their hard-earned money to get that stuff.
I know, but
I know it's Penny Hardaway, right?
But this man has. I bet this man has a story.
I don't really care about his story.
I bet he was a reasonable person at some point in his life, and now he's a porch pirate.
I don't care.
How did you go from reasonable Hernando resident to a porch pirate?
Oh God, I'm getting phone calls.
And probably Memphis Police Department.
I know.
They want to know.
You already caught him. I swear to God, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
Okay, playing off of what you said, for the sake of the conversation, let's assume that this guy didn't know who he was robbing. Well, that's an interesting situation. You think, okay, what's the worst thing that will happen to me if I decide to be a porch pirate
I'll get a
today?
slap on the wrist.
I'll get caught and I'll be on a docket somewhere and I'll get a charge and whatever.
Then I'll be out tomorrow.
This is national news.
Sports Illustrated. As we were about to go on, I see Sports Illustrated posted. I'm like, whoa.
This is national news. This guy's all CBSSports.com, ESPN.com, SI.com. Ronald James is everywhere today. You don't expect that probably when you decide to be a porch pirate.
I don't think so.
You don't. I bet you 5 minutes before you decide to be a porch pirate, you don't assume you're going to be on ESPN tonight.
I wouldn't think so.
Some bad luck for this guy. Security cameras everywhere. Had no idea he was robbing a famous person's house. Probably.
Yeah, but you have to be a real, even if you don't, like, you have to be a real idiot to steal some, like, rare, because if he's flipping he knows what they're worth. If he's trying to flip them, you have to be a real idiot to think that somebody's not going to catch on that you have, like, a rare pair of sneakers, right?
Listen.
Like, it would be like me stealing an autographed one-of-one Ja rookie card or something like that, and then trying to flip it on eBay. Like somebody would be like, wait, hold up.
Right. I don't know Ronald James. We've established that. Doesn't strike me as the type of guy who put that much thought into any of this. Idiot. He didn't strike me as the type of guy who put that much thought into any of it. But, hey, maybe this will be a wake-up call for him, Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom to get your wake-up call.
That's what they say.
Perhaps this will be a wake-up call for him. Maybe this will be the thing that gets his life in order.
Lock him up.
Maybe Ronald James will look back on this, sometimes down the road, and he'll say, man, I was headed down a bad path, but when I got busted robbing Penny Hardaway in August 2024, that's when I decided to turn my life around and get the help that I need. You don't care.
No, not at all. I told you how I feel about porch pirates, bro.
I know. I can't argue against that.
Like, I'm not saying stealing. All stealing is bad. I guess. But like stealing from your fellow man,
I agree.
That's as bad as it gets to me.
You'd rather steal from a woman?
No. Like, I don't think you should. I don't want to.
If you have to steal, okay. You're against stealing. We've established that.
Yeah.
What's worse, stealing from a man or a woman, or does it matter?
Oh no. I meant when I meant fellow man, I meant man. That's just a saying. I meant man or woman.
I know what you meant, but I'm still trying to have fun with it.
No.
Would you rather steal from a woman or a man?
Neither. I wouldn't steal.
Good answer.
From either. I wouldn't steal from my fellow human.
Not even wealthy humans? Robin Hood did, and they celebrate him. Look at what Robin Hood did.
Well, like,
what if Ronald James is a modern day Robin Hood, and you're out here calling him a meth head?
Some places build.
You're calling him a meth addict. What if he's a Robin Hood?
I would say some places build in the theft into their bottom line. So
what does that mean?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying, Bennett? Say it. Say what you're saying.
I'm saying when you steal from like someone who's just like from their home, that's different than stealing from like a Fortune 500 company.
What if Ronald James is Robin Hood?
It's all bad. I'm just saying.
What if Ronald James is Robin Hood? Have you considered that? What if he's Robin Hood?
He's not. He was trying to make money off those foams.
Yeah, he's probably not Robin Hood. It's probably just.
He wasn't gifting them to underprivileged kids. That man was trying to sell them on eBay.
He's probably not Robin Hood. But wouldn't it be neat if he was?
No. That ain't my Robin Hood, buddy. That ain't my Robin Hood.
I hope whatever he needs, I hope he gets it. Whatever help he needs, I hope he gets it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he needs some help. Probably with bond at this point, Probably with bond.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to him, and I hope Penny gets his shoes back. And if not, I hope Nike gets him some more shoes.
I'm sure they will.
Because if there's one thing I know, Penny Hardaway needs some more shoes.
Especially exclusive ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Jessica Benson's having a big day. Parents are in town. It's her 1,000th show. Bennett, do you even know how many shows we've done over here? Do you even know?
Over here? No. I have no clue. I could probably go look. I could probably find that out pretty quickly. I could probably find that out during the break.
Sounds like Jessica Benson's producer cares about her show a little more than my producer cares about my show.
Well, we haven't hit any milestones here yet.
Every day's a milestone.
We haven't hit a milestone yet, dude.
We did show 100. We did show 200.
That's fair. Well, we did I think we said something about that.
I have never known how many shows I've done ever. I started counting one time over at 92.9 and I got to like 4. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep track.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've done thousands of shows. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Never been celebrated one time. Not with cake, not with balloons. Never been celebrated one time for any show I've ever done. I've done thousands of shows. Congratulations on your little 1,000th show. I've done thousands, plural. No celebrations. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure.
This is probably...
someone should have gotten you a cake.
This is probably how Ronald James ended up being Ronald James. Going through life, people don't celebrate him. He says, fine, I'll celebrate myself. Next thing you know, you're trying to steal phone posits from Penny Hardaway.
That's a good point.
It's all connected. It's a slippery slope, Bennett, when you don't celebrate people you say you care about. You know, it's a slippery slope. Could end up stealing. Could end up being a porch pirate.
Yeah.
If I look up at age like 55 and I'm a porch pirate, you know where it started, right?
Right. Yes, I do.
I never got balloons, never got cakes. So I had to celebrate myself.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Jessica Benson will be in here next.
I actually saw these on TikTok before you guys even sent them to me. This is an interesting concept. They're socks that are anti-creasing.
The socks look really comfy.
They do.
But the anti-creasing thing, like, look, why are we still doing this?
So the kids now that are under us, if you see them walking, they walk like
My mom's a gym teacher, and she says like kids will like.
I think that's always
Who
what they're
cares?
doing.
The Sneak Fest Show live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard suite and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
I saw the Drew story. Y'all rode together in the car, and you put the seat back.
Yeah, I put the seat all the way back, and his knees were still crunched up. And he was like, "Nah, bro, so I drive a Kia, man."
A Kia?
What?
He's 7'4", yo.
Yeah, I don't know how he does.
He got the seats removed.
Somehow.
The Chris Vernon Show live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look at that. It's Food Truck Friday. Looked like they got tacos out there. Bennett, we got to be on schedule today.
Yeah, for sure.
We ain't trying to win any awards today.
No.
We trying to be first in the Food Truck Friday line. Look who it is. Jessica Benson's in studio. She's the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. And today was show 1,000.
celebrating her
And we're
today.
celebrating. It's a party.
Where were you guys?
I mean, I was...
Where was your video? Where's your tribute video?
Okay. I already apologized to CJ.
He asked you?
Yes.
I'm not important enough to do a tribute video.
Yeah, and I said, when do you need it by? And he told me, and I said, cool, I got you. And he said, thank you. And that is the last time I thought about it until I turned on the Jessica Benson Show with CJ
My
Hurt
favorite thing
this
about
morning.
CJ is that he doesn't follow up. It's like, you either do it or you don't.
Yeah. I need follow-ups.
I understand.
I need
It's
follow-up. I
fine.
need reminders.
It's okay.
I need pokes.
There's the whole. Oh, remember when you could poke
people on Facebook?
Yeah.
I never did. Did you poke people?
No.
I never poked.
I never played Farmville, and I never poked.
I never poked. I didn't even know what a poke meant. I didn't even know, was it inappropriate? Like, if I would have poked you.
Was it like flirtatious?
Was it flirtatious? That's what I was wondering.
Or was it simply like a hey?
Oh, yeah, it's like fire.
Just want
it's
you
like
to know
the
I'm
fire,
thinking about you.
It's like the fire emoji.
I don't know what to do with the fire emoji.
Yeah, it's too flirty. You can't post it.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, if you post a picture and I got into the comments and I did fire emoji, that's inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I got, is it inappropriate because you're married? Is it inappropriate because you're a coworker? Why is it inappropriate? Is it inappropriate because I'm married? Why is it inappropriate? And I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree. I think it is. I'm just trying to figure out exactly why.
I think the fire emoji indicates that you are saying you're looking hot.
Okay.
Which isn't always true. Like when I use the fire emoji, it is like I'm excited for you. Like, oh, this is fire. Not you're like smoking hot.
Right.
So I think I could interpret
But that could be
it
misinterpreted.
It could be. If you want to be safe, don't play with fire emojis.
That's
I take it back. I don't think
that's
it's
the motto.
I don't think it's inappropriate. I think it like just makes you look like you're trying to flirt. Yeah. Like I don't think there's anything inappropriate about doing it, but like I feel like other people will judge me.
I don't use the fire emoji.
Yeah, I don't use it either.
I mean, if I knew how to get it out of my phone, I would, just to make sure I don't ever accidentally use it.
You could just put a fire. If I post like a picture from today, you can just put a fire emoji. I won't feel weird about it.
Now talk me through this. You post a picture and it's just you at work.
Yeah.
Or it's just you and Chris.
Yeah.
Or it's just you're at the golf tournament, whatever.
Okay.
I can like that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You post a picture from vacation and you're in a swimsuit. I always
know
feel
you
like
well enough at this point.
I always feel like if I
don't
like that one, I'm being creepy.
No, but some would think that you would.
Yeah, so I stay away from that. So don't ever take offense, whether it's you or Kelsey or anybody else. I decline to like.
Decline the solo pics.
I don't do swimsuit pics.
Okay.
I don't like because I don't want to come across that way.
That's
Yeah.
that's a nice boundary that you've set for
I've
yourself.
set boundaries
That's
for
great.
myself.
But if it's my 1,000th show,
Okay.
like, you can hit it with a fire emoji.
I can't. I just told you I can't use fire.
I'm giving you permission.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
I'm giving you consent, Gary. Okay, the fire emoji is there for you to use.
I'm gonna need this in
moment.
writing. I'm gonna need
We're
this
gonna sign a contract.
Yes.
We're gonna sign a contract. It's okay. I understand. You forgot the video.
Hey, I did. I apologize,
Fine.
CJ.
My divorced parents could fly from 2 different states in the country, but you couldn't do the video.
Hey,
I get it. I get it.
Isn't that really sweet, though?
It
I
is.
know when stuff
we
like
never spend time together.
I know when stuff like this happens, it can be a little overwhelming because I'm very I plan everything, and when anything disrupts my plans, I get really.
I have a hell of a day.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
Anytime anything goes. Not wrong, just not the way I anticipate it going. I shut down.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with it. So I know stuff like this can be overwhelming, but I imagine that's really sweet. Your mom and dad's out there.
I know, it's crazy.
And your husband was here.
I know.
Everybody was really happy for you.
I know, it was really sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
Yes.
And you got a producer who keeps track of shows and make sure you have cakes and
CJ likes
balloons.
to pretend that he doesn't
Tell
like
me
to do
what it's
anything,
like
but he did everything.
Tell me what it's like to have a producer that cares
I don't know,
about
Bennett,
you that much.
Bennett, your time is here.
Listen,
The bar
we're
has
gonna
been
celebrate.
set.
We're gonna celebrate in here. I got a celebration for us right here. Okay, one, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know.
God, Lord, what is going on, Bennett?
What number show is this, Bennett?
I
can tell you.
Did that hit you?
No.
I can give you a rough estimate.
Yeah, a rough estimate.
But I mean, you also had this show you hit your 1000th
I've
episode.
done thousands and thousands
of days ago,
shows.
thousands of years ago, some would say. This is your 345th episode of the Gary Parrish Show, according to YouTube.
How about that? How about that, Bennett?
Yeah, you'll get to 1,000 someday.
345.
Don't worry about it.
Did you celebrate? Have you ever celebrated before? Any other milestone?
Well, it's funny because when we and Megan Triplett came in today, which the show
right.
started as Rise and Grind and then transitioned.
You ain't never seen Jeff Calkins over here, have you?
You sure haven't.
Hey, you never celebrated me.
Don't turn this around.
Yeah, you never celebrated my milestones, bro.
I don't know. What are your milestones?
Exactly.
What are your milestones?
I don't know your milestones either.
I ain't never seen Jeff Calkins over here.
Dude, I got you a street sign to put in this studio.
Ron Olson got me a street sign to put in this studio.
I was the liaison.
I texted Ron Olson and told him thank you for that because that was a sweet, thoughtful thing.
Mm-hmm, that was nice. That was thoughtful.
That really was nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
See, people do think about you.
Of all people, Ron Olson. Isn't that nice? Yes. Because here's the honest to God truth. I really respect Ron Olson for this and admire him for this.
Goat.
A Memphis goat. A real radio goat.
Yep.
a legend. If I would have been wherever Ron Olson was and saw a street sign that said Olson Street, I would not have thought, man, this would be really nice for Ron. I wouldn't think on. I don't even. It's not that I wouldn't do it. It's that I wouldn't even think to do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's just you.
But I'm interested
But
in
I do
how
find it
some
funny
people look at
because-
that and go, man, I should get that for Gary Parrish.
Yeah.
And I could see the same thing. And it's not that I wouldn't do it. If you said, hey, you should get that for Ron Olson, I'd say, you're right, I should. Let's do it. But I wouldn't.
You wouldn't think of it.
I wouldn't think of it on my own.
Yeah. It's a good question. Like, even growing up, I've been thinking about, I've tried to be better at this. My mom is really a thoughtful person, like gets gifts for everybody, sees something, thinks of them, sends cards. My dad sends cards, gifts. I mean, even like I came home the other night and there was a package waiting for me and it's a LA 2028 shirt from my dad. He's like, I know you love the Olympics, getting you ready for the next Olympics. I don't think ahead enough. I want to do those things. Yeah. So I'm trying to learn from both of my parents.
I'll do
like,
anything
I want
for
to
you.
do these. But that's why they show up. Like, that's what I learned. The fact that both of them came and flew in, like, that's how I learned to be the way that I am.
And
I am also an only child, so they only have to do it for one. I think only children are the biggest hack of parenting. You just got to do it for one.
My advice to, because every once in a while people be like, we're thinking about having another kid. What do you think? And they'll act like it matters what I think. But here's what I would say to both of you and to anybody: have as many kids as you want. You'll never regret it, I don't think. But if you are happy with where you're at, so Bennett, if it's 2, if you're happy with 2 and nobody needs more than 2, stay at 2. If you're happy at 0, stay at 0. If you're content, if you need 1, get 1. But if you need 3, get 3. But if you have ever reached a point where you and your partner are looking at each other and you're like, this is our life.
Yeah.
We've got everything we need. We don't need any more. Stop.
I know. And we're at that age now this whole thing is so funny. I leave for a baby shower in Denver. I grew up in Denver. My dad still lives in Denver. My mom lives in Seattle. My mom is going to Denver to see a friend in Denver. I'm going to Denver for a baby shower. My dad's going home to Denver. My dad and I are flying on one flight. My mom is on another. I think we should all just have a row to ourselves like the good old days on a plane, and I could invite my therapist to sit behind us and we could make this a thing. But going to this baby shower this week has really done weird things to my brain because all of my college friends do not have children yet.
Okay.
All of my friends here, my close girlfriends here in Memphis, do not have children yet.
Okay.
I am now going to my hometown where I'm going to a baby shower of one friend. I am staying with my other friend who is recently pregnant.
Okay.
I am going to see my other friend of that group who has 2 children. And my other friend from that group is in a relationship now that the man comes with kids and she has accepted those kids as her own. I'm the only one without kids. So normally I'm just living my life, not really thinking about it. We're still pushing that, kicking that can down the road. Happy with 0 at the moment, but looking forward to having 1 or 2 maybe later
When stuff
on.
like this starts happening around you, does it put pressure on you? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel anything?
I feel like I should feel pressure and I don't feel that. So I'm curious how I will feel when I'm in the actual presence of it, but I've never, baby fever has never been a thing for me. I'm just very practical. I'm a thinker and I'm a planner. And I'm not going to be influenced by this, but it is just odd thinking, in the old days, we'd all go out to some of our favorite bars and get drinks.
Your life's different now.
I'm the only one who's probably going to have a glass of wine this weekend. It's so different.
Yeah, you get older and your priorities change.
It's like a portal opens
There are
in certain parts of your life.
There are people I spend time with now, and I used to stay up till 7 in the morning with them doing all sorts of ridiculous things. And now we get up at 5 in the morning and just meet at the golf course.
Yeah.
It's just your life changes.
Yes.
The thing
My friend told me she was going to have dinner on the table when I get there. I'm like, dinner on the table? Who are you, my mom?
Right. That's the other thing. You start cooking dinner. You start making dinners.
But see, I don't.
You don't?
I just had a friend in town, and I was like, are you hungry? We can go out and get something. Or
that's the thing.
If you're not, we can just sit and have drinks on the roof or something. I am not yet in the place of that. And it might happen soon. I think sometimes you just wake up and it happens. I'm not making anyone dinner.
Yeah.
I barely even make my husband dinner. He makes me dinner.
I can order dinner. And didn't Chris
love to order
Didn't Chris
dinner.
seem so delightful this morning?
He's always delightful.
Is he always delightful?
No, not always. I don't
Okay.
want to like that. Feels like a
He always
fake Pleasantville type
He always
thing.
comes across as delightful.
Yeah, no, he's a delightful
He does.
person.
I enjoy being in
realized-
his presence.
I think
that
he
makes me so happy.
I think he makes people feel better about themselves.
Oh, I hope so.
Just he seems to have
He has great energy.
He has great energy.
I feel like I
Sometimes he
could
has-
party with him and have a good time.
Yes, he is a good time. If you hire him for your wedding dance floor, hire him for if you're looking for someone on your bachelor party, he can bring a good time, a responsible but good time that like
Okay.
kind of is the party fire starter.
I like that.
But what we realized, one of the biggest things that we have in common, and it comes out even when he just comes on the show, this past week, we're both easily excitable, not in a like flimsy way, but we just generally enjoy life.
You have a good
And,
time.
Yeah, like we've watched the DNC for the last 4 nights. I didn't expect to sit down, but we're in it together, and we're like enjoying.
We watched as a family too.
Yeah, it was, and we had a great
time.
and we're like, what is happening right now? Like, why? But we can get so swept up in things as a couple, and that makes everything feel more fun. We're sending each other tweets, we're sending each other memes. I'm falling asleep early. He's sending me everything I need to catch up on in the morning,
Right.
and when I'm up in the morning, I'm sending him everything to get the day started. And I just think if you're doing life with somebody and you both like truly get excited about things, it puts you in a pretty good place.
Level of excitement when you read a report from TMZ saying Beyonce will be in attendance, relative to the lack of excitement when you realize she ain't coming.
I hate how disappointed I was.
I was disappointed myself.
I was.
You can't promise me Auntie Beyonce and then not deliver.
Was there a surprise? There was no surprise.
There was no surprise.
No surprise.
Right.
I talked to my contact at the DNC this morning, and I really did talk. I have a friend who is working for a couple
So
candidates
what happened?
there.
What
and
happened, TMZ?
He believes, and this is, hypothetically,
Sure.
reportedly, rumorly, that there was a lot of energy there. Ultimately, it got to the point where if you put a celebrity out, you know how after Michelle Obama gives her speech, the notion is, well, how can Barack Obama go
Right.
give his speech? Nobody wanted that moment for Kamala Harris in making her official acceptance speech and being the nominee from the Democratic Party. And so they just kind of let it run wild so that more people would maybe tune in and watch and listen to what she had to actually say.
Right.
And then they squashed it like an hour. I just think they could have squashed it earlier.
Right.
Like I was at a party last night and the party ended. Shout out I Love Memphis, celebrating 15 years of I Love Memphis. The great
everybody's
Jalen
celebrating, I
Socek
guess.
planned a hell of a party out at Memphis Made last night.
Everybody gets celebrated, it sounds like.
But I
Bennett.
thought I was going to leave that party and go to a Beyonce concert in my living room.
Right.
I was dancing around pink. She didn't twirl. She didn't do aerials.
Nope.
But I was still like running around in her acoustic version of What About Us because I needed that to be the opening act for Beyonce. It felt like it was all building there. We had the scandal moment of Olivia Pope and our former president,
Sure.
Fitzgerald Grant,
Right.
continuing to make their spouses God's strongest soldiers, in my opinion.
I really enjoyed Scandal, and then it got a little wild, and I clocked out on it. I don't think I finished it.
You clocked out at TGIT?
I think so.
Do you know how many TGITs saved me from bad Thirsty Thursday decisions? Because you just ate popcorn and drank wine with the gals.
Yeah.
Or after college, I made my husband watch Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder.
I like Scandal.
I like How to Get Away with Murder.
But then I just forgot about it.
Where was Annalise Keating last night? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I can't speak
We
to
had
that.
Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
I've recently been rewatching Desperate Housewives. So
Why?
that took me
Why'd
back.
you do that?
It's a great show.
Is it?
Thank
I
you.
remember loving it too. I
Yeah,
think I
it
stopped
holds
watching
up.
it at some point too.
Yeah, it's
But,
I
the
watched
first
the whole
season or two,
thing.
I love that.
The pilot is I think one of the best pilots in terms of setting up a show.
Yeah.
Does a great job. Great writing. Aged well. But yeah, then no Beyonce and no Taylor Swift, because then I thought, okay, if it's not Beyonce, it's gonna be Taylor.
I'm sitting around yesterday afternoon, early evening, and it's like there are reports out there that all of this was out there.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is going to show up. Beyonce is going to show up. George Bush is going to speak.
Mitt Romney is also going to speak.
And I was like, and then I tell my boys, I tell everybody, I'm like, Auntie Beyonce is going to be there tonight.
Sit on down, kids.
Sit on
We gotta
down.
watch history.
Made me into a liar in front of my kids.
I know. TMZ doesn't lie often.
Their
Their ethics, bad. they're
But
reporting, they get it right.
That is, like, in all seriousness,
Yes.
kind of surprising that they missed this.
The second I saw TMZ said she was going to be there,
Right.
it was no longer an internet rumor in my mind.
Right,
It was confirmed that Beyonce was
Because
going
they
to
get
perform.
real news. I mean, they broke Michael Jackson's death,
They pay
Prince's
for
death.
sources.
They they got Kobe's death.
Yes. Again, the ethics of it can be, and the photos that are shown.
I used
from
to
time
work
to
with a
time.
woman who used to work there,
Me too.
and she, like, the story she has about that place,
It's insane.
insane.
I told the story on my show this morning. When I first realized that TMZ had credibility in the news world, I was trying to do my big bad, I'm going to be a news reporter, and I was interning at NBC Nightly News at their bureau in Burbank.
Okay.
And it was the Boston Marathon bombing, and I was on my intern shift, and we're all just trying to, find any information on the manhunt going on for the person who did this. And TMZ was one of the first to report that this person had been found.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember kind of just a throwaway comment of, oh, well, TMZ says this. And the executive producer like whips around in his chair and he goes, oh, well, if TMZ said it, we need to follow up on this lead. Can you make this call?
Right.
And I was like, TMZ? It's like, don't be fooled. Don't let the aura around TMZ fool you. Like, they know what they're talking about. They
Yes.
might not do journalism the right way,
But they get to
but
the
they
end.
get it right
Yeah.
more times than they do not. So this
Yeah,
was a big miss.
the path
I'll
they
never.
take-
This is like Wikipedia. I'll never trust it again.
Oh, I try. If we ever get to a point where you can't trust
What are
Wikipedia,
we
it's over
doing?
for me. Everything I know comes
I
from
kinda got to
Wikipedia.
that. This is way too long. Are you familiar with the Theo Vaughn's family?
I don't know his family.
Okay. Well,
I've seen this.
it's on Wikipedia, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's real, but Wikipedia takes me
I
there.
don't
That
know.
he's part of some, I don't even know what country it is, but some royalty.
Okay.
Some long lineage
I don't
of
know that story.
royalty in another country.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I think one of the issues with TMZ, because I've noticed this before.
Yes.
And it can make you get out there a little more aggressively than you otherwise would.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bylines ever.
No.
Nobody's
No one
name
has
is
to stand on it.
Nobody's name is ever attached to this stuff.
Yes.
So it's like TMZ breaks the news. It's not Jessica Benson at TMZ broke the news or
Yes.
Bennett Doyle at TMZ broke the news. It's just nobody has to own it.
Yes.
I remember when I was at the Commercial Appeal, I was getting ready to break what was a pretty significant story. And it was a real fight internally because I felt like I had it 3 days ago.
Okay.
And my editors kept, well, we need 2 more sources on this. I'd go get 2 more sources, and I'd say, here we go. And they'd say, but we need 1 more. And finally, this was because I had talked to so many people, this stuff was starting to
bubble. Yeah.
Yeah. And I finally went to like the editor of the whole paper, Angus McCarron at the time.
Yeah.
And I just remember saying, listen, if we don't, and Jeff was an ally, like helping me, because at the time I was like early 20s. Like
Trying to
nobody
push you
was,
through, right.
I didn't, no, but you couldn't trust me just
Yeah.
based on everything you knew about me.
Now, though.
But I had it, and Jeff was like helping me
Yeah.
sell it to the people that need. Anyway, I remember this vividly. At some point, Angus McCarron said, because I was saying, if we don't do this today, it's coming out somewhere,
Yeah.
and all this work I've done, I'm going to lose it all.
Yeah.
We gotta go. You've told me to do A, B, C, and D. I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. I've got it. This is solid. And Angus McCarron looked right at me and he said, your name's going to be on this. I said, I know. And he said, this is your career. If you mess
Yeah.
this up, this is your career. Are you comfortable with that? And I said, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we went. But I knew I had to own this. If this was great, I was going to be great. And if it was bad,
wrong.
I was damaging myself
Yeah.
severely. And at TMZ, there's nobody to hold accountable because we
No.
don't know who these people are.
And I think it's actually I thought yesterday was getting into the nerdy side of where journalism and influencing and social media all sits today. Those rumors began with some blue checkmark accounts. And we all know, like, you can pay for verification on Twitter now. That was the breakdown of, and the verification process, like, it got into a self-importance area
Sure.
that was unnecessary, but it did provide a legitimization of, like, is this a real person?
Right.
And now you never quite know, but something will pick up traction so quickly. So you've heard these rumors all week. That,
Right.
is Beyonce going to be the one who leads her out? She's using her song Freedom. Could she show up? And then one person tweets, like, I have a close source at the DNC who says they are leaving a hole in the schedule and only a select few number of people know. And that gets shot out. And then you have the political advisor for the White House tweet the bee emoji,
Right.
which felt
Yeah.
It was my 6-year-old. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But next thing you know, there's all these blue check accounts, and it's just aggregating, and it's getting so big. And then Taylor Swift's plane is in Chicago, and then George W. Bush, and Don Lemon is saying that he hears that George W. Bush. And so it's just this shifting away from the two-source verification or the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We're so far from that.
Yeah.
I don't think we can, very few people can still abide by that because news moves so quickly, and we have just trashed everything I learned in journalism school has just completely gone to the wayside. And yesterday was the perfect example that leads to TMZ saying she's going to be there, and then she's not there.
Like I see stuff on Twitter every day from people with humongous followings that is just either undeniably untrue or at best misleading. And people really do consume this stuff, and they walk around in their day-to-day lives believing this stuff. Like I had a guy call me the other day. We live near each other, and he's an interesting fella, and we just get to talking, and within a minute you realize, this is before President Biden even spoke.
Yeah.
Well, you realize President Biden is trying to sabotage Kamala Harris's campaign. And the person really running everything is Barack Hussein Obama. And I'm like, is this really what you weirdos sit around talking about?
Right.
Like, call somebody else and do this. I think you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you sound like a nutty person to me. And I know you don't think you're crazy. But
you've seen it on enough of your feeds that it has cemented itself into reality.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, like, this isn't like some uneducated, stupid person walking around. This is a college-educated, successful human, right?
Yeah.
But just bananas. Yeah. Just absolutely bananas. Because if that's all you consume, that's what you get.
Yes.
It's wild out there.
I had a friend who was steadfast that Taylor Swift had endorsed 2 or 3 weeks ago, that she had endorsed Kamala Harris because there was that picture that they claim was like the silhouette of, and I was like, that didn't happen. She hasn't endorsed. the Kelce brothers haven't endorsed. She goes, no, I saw it. It was on their podcast. I said, no.
Right.
Like there is, find the podcast find the clip of them speaking. I'm sure.
I genuinely believe. Then I get you out of here because you got a million things to do. I genuinely believe.
I've got 3 dog sitting gigs to filter out
it's
before
a bad
I hit
day
this
for
plane.
everybody to show up. I know. I really do think our biggest issue, as people, is that we consume such different stuff.
Yes.
About the same topics.
Yes.
But we
on this notion, because I think we had one of the greatest examples in recent memory, and I get it. Like I am biased one way, and I won't pretend that I'm not. But the reaction of Tim Walz's son, Gus, at his
That's
DNC.
a kid, by the way.
It's a child. It is a child who.
How could you be comfortable mocking a child?
I just had this conversation with my therapist. It blows my mind that I like to think, and I saw there were Republican and conservative voices who came out yesterday and said, like, that's great. I love seeing a kid support their dad like that. Like, how great is that?
As a father, the proudest you could ever be is to have your son look at you
and say, that's my dad.
I don't know that I'll ever have any of my children feel that way about me.
Yeah.
But I watched that and I didn't see something worthy of being mocked. I said, my God, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
And the fact that that moment can be construed as anything but a sweet moment of a child supporting their parent is insane to me. Like if we can't agree on that, what are we doing? I said the comments yesterday, and I know never get lost in the comments, but people are saying like, oh, does he use tampons? And I'm like, oh my God. And let's just set the record straight on the whole tampon thing.
That's another one.
They can be in bathrooms. There are men's locker rooms that are used for women's sports when the traveling team uses a men's locker room, so that makes sense there. And most of them were simply gender-neutral schools that existed in the state of Minnesota. It is not what it has been turned into. No. And there are examples on both sides that I could shift on the other side of it too.
It's just, I guess so last night we're watching the convention, and we're watching it on CBS, it's America's Most Watched Network. It's the network of stars.
I hear.
But then after it was over, my wife said, hey, turn on Fox News.
Oh, we did it too. Did you see the Trump call-in?
Yes.
It was like a Feinbaum show.
So she says, turn on Fox, because, she's surrounded. We live in Mississippi. We're surrounded by this stuff.
We truly try to take in all angles.
So I was like, okay, good idea. Let's see. I want to see how because I know what I think about what I just watched. I want to see what they think. And we turned it on, and I'm not even like what. I'm not trying to belittle or anything.
Yeah.
It was as if we had just watched two totally different things, and I just can't make sense of that. Like how you could see that and then start saying the things that they were saying as opposed to the things I was thinking.
Did you watch Jon Stewart last night?
I did not
by
see
any
that.
chance?
No.
He does a great.
That's perfect.
Bit within it.
If you would have taped DVR'd both of them.
Yes.
The 30 minutes after the convention's over of Fox News and then the 30 minutes of the Daily Show.
Yeah.
You would have thought they would have both been discussing. I'm assuming the same thing.
Right.
And it would have sounded like they just watched two totally different things.
Yes.
That's weird to me.
They had one of the anchors, and I don't know his name on Fox, but he was talking about the funeral vibe and no lines and everyone's miserable. And the video of the convention that they're showing was during the roll call. Right. And it's this woman for her state with the biggest smile on her face and everyone's cheering around. And then it's the DJ. And he's like, it feels like somebody died in here. And it's this DJ just like working the crowd and the crowd is everywhere. And I truly don't understand how you can watch that video with somebody talking next to it saying the complete opposite, the antithesis of what you're seeing in the video and say, hey, I heard it was dead in there.
It's
that just blows my
weird.
mind.
But it really does shape millions and millions of people's opinions on things.
I'll just be honest. Like, I grew up in a pretty conservative part of Colorado, and I would assume that my whole life I was on an island when it came to my best friends growing up. And I remember in 2008, I was in a peer counseling class, and that was when I first learned that I had very different viewpoints than all of my best friends, and we had a debate. And I think that I was the only person on one side going up against a class of like 20, which feels like an unfair setup for somebody in their sophomore year of high school. But I know what I'm stepping into this week, and I know that we'll disagree. And I'm just like, we just can't talk about it.
Right.
Like, we can't. It's not worth it. We're there to celebrate things and to hold on to these friendships. But we see the situation so vehemently different at this point. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah, I find it easier just to not like even engage in the conversations.
And I still love these people very much.
Absolutely.
So.
I have some of my closest friends, people we spend the most time with, who I know who they will vote for in the election, and it'll be different than me. And we couldn't be cooler in real life. It's just that you can't.
Don't start yapping.
Right. You really
don't start yapping.
And it's not even that you have to prevent. I was talking about this with somebody else. It's not even like you have to consciously say, I'm not going to. It just really doesn't come up in your day-to-day life. It just doesn't come up.
No.
Unless somebody
tries to stir the pot.
Yeah, and that's what this fella was doing with me the other day who called me. He was just wanted to, and I just wouldn't engage. I was like, all right, well, I hope your kids are okay.
I was telling someone, I was like, I don't know if somebody
says
says something. They're like, who's going to say something? You're at a baby shower.
Right.
And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worrying about something that
you probably just talking about babies and that fun night you had.
Oh, and why I don't have one.
College.
When are you going to have over under? How many times do I get asked?
I think it's wrong to ask. You should never ask.
I'll get asked 100 times.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. People shouldn't ask that.
I completely agree.
I wouldn't ask you that.
People go through things.
I wouldn't ask you that. I wouldn't ask Bennett that either.
Appreciate it.
I wouldn't ask either one of you.
We got another year. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right.
In case if anyone's interested in asking, another year.
Yeah,
then you can start asking.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations on your 1,000th show.
Thank you. I didn't even know.
I know.
I was like, I thought it was our 300th.
You were that off?
I'm not kidding.
Time flies.
It does.
Congratulations on having so many people who care about you.
Congrats.
Come to your studio to see you.
I appreciate
that must be
it.
nice. I'm going to try to figure out what that feels like someday.
We'll work on it for your 5,000.
Hey, enjoy your weekend. Have a nice flight.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you
Monday.
later. That's Jessica Benson. She'll be back in studio on Monday. Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. When we come back, news connected to the University of Memphis. Tim Duncan, former Memphis basketball player, is returning to his alma mater. He's going to be a senior athletic director working hand in hand with Penny Hardaway's basketball program. We'll walk you through that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
The fans are ready for a healthy team. The team is ready to be healthy and rebrand themselves going into this year.
And I think this year is the Remind Me Tour. This team needs to come out and remind people who they are.
Say that again.
It's the Remind Me Tour. Hashtag Remind Me.
Yeah, you just started something. Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, This is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I saw the Jellyroll story. Y'all rode together in the car, and you put the seat back.
Yeah, I put the seat all the way back, and his knees were still crunched up. And he was like, "Nah, bro, I drive a Kia, man."
A Kia?
What?
He's 7'4", yo.
Yeah, I don't know how he does.
He got the seats removed.
Somehow.
The Chris Vernon Show live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Maxwell in concert. The Serenade Tour. October 16th at FedEx Forum. Maxwell. With special guest Jasmine Sullivan. And October London. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Maxwell Live.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Big development, University of Memphis. Tim Duncan has returned to his alma mater. He's going to be a senior deputy athletic director at the University of Memphis, working hand in hand with Penny Hardaway's men's basketball program. Tim, of course, has been the athletic director down at New Orleans for several years. Played basketball at the U of M with Penny, so there's a decades-long connection there. I like Tim Duncan a lot.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before. And that's like, he's a guy that I think people have always kind of been like, man, it'd be great to bring him back home one day.
Right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been mad if he would have gotten the actual athletics director job when it was open. That was obviously filled by Ed Scott, and now Ed Scott has brought Tim Duncan back. It was a few years ago. You might remember there was a hurricane down in New Orleans, and it really damaged the University of New Orleans practice facility, and just made it to where the men's basketball program needed to relocate in the spirit of, we need to be together, and we can't be together in New Orleans right now. And you know where they moved to for a number of weeks? Here.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
They came here, and they lived near campus, and they practiced in the University of Memphis basketball facility every day. I went and did a story on it, and the connection there, like if you ask the question, how did New Orleans basketball program end up living at the University of Memphis for a number of weeks after a hurricane? The connection was Tim Duncan and Penny Hardaway. Let me call Penny, see if he can be there for us. And to his credit, he was. And New Orleans staff that I've known for several years now, they could not have spoken more highly of the way they were treated in Memphis and the way Penny accommodated them. This was at the time, I think Larry Brown was on staff too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, like talking. These are mid-major basketball players, right? And they would be like, yeah, we'll just be in here working out. And next thing you know, Larry Brown's in the gym or Penny Hardaway's in the gym.
cool.
And I don't remember like who the big time players were at the time, but it was like, if it was Jalen Duren or James White, but it was like, and there's 5-star, future pros in the gym. And they were just sort of not starstruck, but like, wow, these types of people don't walk into the New Orleans practice facility too often. You're a mid-major basketball player. You don't expect to see Larry Brown in the gym, just sort of watching you go through drills.
Yep.
And then if I'm remembering correctly, like Larry, because he's just a basketball junkie, he would get out on the court with them and, start helping them learn a different way to guard a ball screen. And next thing you know, you're a New Orleans basketball player getting drill work with Larry Brown, one of the greatest basketball minds who's ever lived.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was put together by Tim and Penny, and now Tim and Penny will be working hand in hand going forward. So that was the announcement from Ed Scott last night, the Memphis athletic director. Tim Duncan coming back to the University of Memphis. We'll get him in studio with us someday.
Number 2.
John Cena went on Shannon Sharp's podcast.
Yeah, I saw this.
And created some big headlines.
Of course,
Shannon
sure did.
Sharp asked him, who's the GOAT of WWE? Now, before we talk about what John Cena said, what do you think most people's answer would be? WWE GOAT.
GOAT. I think that's the beauty of it is I think most people would have different opinions. Like my Mount Rushmore of WWE stars is going to be different than, Devin's Mount Rushmore of WWE superstars.
And mine probably would too, because I missed like 20 years.
Yeah, because
I stopped watching for about 20 years.
And I don't there's and people can have good arguments, and I'll be like, that's a good argument. Like you'll have a lot of people say The Rock just because he transcended the sport and became sports entertainment and became this just massive public figure, right?
Sure.
You'll have multiple people say Hulk Hogan because he's the guy that made it popular,
Well,
right?
Hulk Hogan was the Babe Ruth of this stuff.
Yeah.
And was a real crossover star. Like wrestling was just wrestling, and then Hulk Hogan became this thing.
Yep.
And then there's WrestleMania, and then he's in a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Like he really crossed over.
That's right.
That would be like he's the Babe Ruth of this thing.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, you'll have multiple people say Ric Flair.
Right.
I like my Mount. I mean, for me, if you're asking who,
Do a Mount Rushmore. That's 4.
You want a Mount Rushmore?
I would like a Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore.
I want Bennett Doyle's Mount Rushmore of WWE.
Okay, it changes a lot. Number 1, it is not even a debate in my mind. It is the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
See, I missed all that,
dude.
I was very aware of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I wasn't like Monday Night Raw on it every Monday night. I was at the Saucer
when he won King of the Ring and started the Austin 316 thing, and then it gets into everything with The Rock and the McMahon family. Like it's just that's my favorite era of wrestling. So like Stone Cold always going to be top dog on my list. I love the Texas Rattlesnake. I gotta. This is it's really tough. My list is really tough. I'll put The Rock on there hesitantly, but I'll put The Rock on there just because of his greatness.
He's a big deal.
Just because of his greatness. I gotta have HBK on my list. Just because he was one of my favorite wrestlers, and then he just became like a part of the business, and now he's the guy that's like putting the next crop of superstars in WWE. Like he's the guy that's building the foundation. So HBK is going to be on my list. Man, and then that 4th one's tough. Like a guy that I can't responsibly put him on the Mount Rushmore, but he always gets honorable mention is Jeff Hardy, because just like I freaking love Jeff Hardy. Like he had so many amazing moments in WWE. But I'll probably say 4. I might, dude, honestly, and I know where we're going with this, I might have to put Roman up there. I think he may have jumped up in the Mount Rushmore.
John Cena called Roman Reigns the GOAT of WWE.
Yeah.
He said Rock would be second. But Roman Reigns, John Cena said, is the greatest WWE performer of all time.
So in this day and age where our attention
get your ones up.
In this day and age where our attention span is just like all over the place. Like, I mean, dude, you got to think a lot of these big WWE superstars that are like, we're talking about the greatest of all times, the Mount Rushmore, they didn't have the competition for eyeballs like WWE has now, right? Like, there's a million different options out there of things for people to watch and consume their time with. And the product is still super popular. And if you want to point at just one thing and one reason,
they fill up arenas at least twice a week.
And if you want to point at one, if you just say what's one reason why WWE has had this really, really great run, it's him. And my favorite thing about it is people hated him. Not hated him as he's a villain or no, people thought he was just not a great wrestling personality.
Right.
Like people were mad when they pushed him. I can remember him coming out on Monday Night Raw and people would boo him because they were like, we don't want this guy to be the face of the company. And to WWE's credit, they stuck with it. And I mean, yeah, he's as popular as it gets. And he got way better. I'll give him credit too. He has always been a good wrestler, but his microphone skills were lacking. I can remember a famous promo, I think it was in Memphis, with him and John Cena, and John Cena cooked him. It was embarrassing.
And John, I remember that too. This was before I restarted watching wrestling, but I just turned that on that night because it was in Memphis. And if I remember correctly, it was almost like they were talking to each other in character, but also there was some truth in there.
Behind the scenes business
Because John
stuff.
Cena said something along the lines like, if you could do this, I wouldn't have to be here.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Like, if you should be carrying this thing, and if you could, I wouldn't have to be here. I'm only here because you can't do the job.
It got so uncomfortable that there was one point when Roman just goes, just shut up for a minute. And that was when you're like, whoa, he's really cooking him right now. And to Roman's credit, like, dude, I think he's great on the mic now. Like, I love listening to him talk when he's in the ring.
The acknowledge me thing became a turning point.
Yeah, the bloodline thing, obviously, and the head of the table, tribal chief, all of that, like, really changed everything for him. But yeah, man, I think he's the top superstar, and
it's not even close right now. And the time away helped.
I think so too. Yeah,
we missed him. Sometimes you got to miss something to properly appreciate it, Bennett. You ever found that to be true in your own life?
Yeah. That's true.
So we had to miss him for a little bit, but now he's back, and he's the biggest star going. He's my GOAT.
He also helped WWE through COVID. Like, I mean, they were at a weird point, right? You're doing shows with no fans. You've got the screens and everything, and he kept people's attention.
Roman Reigns is my GOAT. I think Corey had the Mount Rushmore that I would probably go with.
Okay, what is it?
Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Stone Cold.
I can't argue with that.
I think that's probably a pretty... I bet you that's the most common.
Yeah, the reason I put HBK over Hogan is because I just like that era more. That's all.
Well, take it up with John Cena. You're going to have to take it up with John Cena.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is my GOAT. He'll be back on TV tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll preview that in a minute.
Number 3.
Jacob DeGrom pitched in a baseball game last night for the first time since April 2023. It's been nearly 16 months. Touched 100. Only pitched one inning. Says he does plan to pitch in the regular season. This season, even though the Rangers are, it's kind of wild. Just completely out of it. The reigning World Series champs. Huge payroll. And just they're 10 games under 500. They've just sucked all year.
I want to freaking talk about baseball.
And they've got so much money tied up in Hall of Fame pitchers who aren't pitching. They gave DeGrom $185 million. He's pitched 6 times in the past 2 years. All right? They got Scherzer there, Max Scherzer. He's recovering from a million different things, and it's unclear if he's going to pitch.
Yeah.
They just got a lot of money tied up in injured people. As a Grizzlies fan, you can relate.
For sure.
Maybe this is just one of those bad gap years for them too, right?
Yeah.
They should be better.
No, they should be better.
They should,
they cooked our ass last year.
Well, you remember sometimes the Astros will get off to a rough start and you're like, man, the Astros are terrible, but they'll turn it around eventually, and then they do. People go like, what's wrong? And then it's like you look up and the Astros are now 11 games above 500, leading the AL West. you just say that about the Rangers too. Off to a bad start, they'll get it turned around. Off to 2 months in, they're not very good. They'll get it, and they just never have. They've just not been good all year long. I love Jacob DeGrom.
I'm still like thinking about the GOAT, the Mount Rushmore thing.
I can't take you from wrestling to Jacob DeGrom.
It's just
that's a bad order. That's a bad order for me.
I'm rethinking things.
What do you want to say?
No, I think I don't know if I could put. I think I might have to put the Undertaker in over Roman right now.
Undertaker's a big deal.
And the decades long, like he
maybe
was
I go
in
Undertaker.
So many different
I'm not
eras.
taking Roman Reigns off my Mount Rushmore, so maybe I'll take Stone Cold off of mine.
Don't do that.
Maybe I'll go Hulk Hogan.
Don't do that.
The Rock, The Undertaker, and Roman Reigns.
I don't know. Maybe I'll leave Roman. I don't. That's the thing. That Mount Rushmore's hard with WWE.
It is very difficult, Bennett. It's a hard thing. I didn't mean to spring it on you on a Friday.
No. Back to baseball. I hate it.
I know
I'm like sick of it.
Yeah, when you get walked off 2 times in a 3-day span by the New York Metropolitans, that's tough.
Yeah, and then get blasted by the Astros last night. Like, dude, they are a surefire wild card team. They are not going to win the division. They're 1.5 back of the Yankees now.
Yeah, they're just 1.5 games back.
But dude,
man.
here's the thing about that is because I'll have people be like, dude, you know your team that's been terrible forever. Like they've got 70-something wins and they're a surefire playoff team. How can you be down on? I watch them every day. And
they have 74 wins. The only franchises with more than that right now are the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees.
I totally hear
you. You have the 3rd best record in baseball, and you're depressed.
Dude, because I watch them every day. Like, I watch them every day. There's this team that I'm watching right now, they cannot win a World Series. The team that I'm watching right now cannot win a World Series.
Ben, it doesn't sound like to me like you're enjoying the...
It's just
you're not enjoying the journey,
dude.
You're not enjoying the journey. You have to enjoy the journey.
I'm trying. Every game's over in the first inning. I'm sick of it.
No, you're caught up on what you think you can't do in October instead of just enjoying the journey. You're sitting around waiting to die.
It's just
instead of enjoying life. I got news for you, Bennett. The Orioles probably won't win a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
You probably going to get cancer someday and die. Okay?
Wow.
All right. Is that what you want to spend your Friday thinking about, though?
I do have this. My wife hates it about me. I have this constant feeling of like impending doom.
Yeah, so do I. I do too.
Yes.
I don't practice what I preach.
No, I always think something bad is about to happen.
Every minute I'm waiting for something terrible to happen. Every minute.
Right.
Every minute. All right. So I don't practice what I preach, but I can preach. And I'm telling you, that's no way to live.
Yeah.
You're going to die. Think about this. One day you're going to take your last breath. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Why think about it all day today when it's Food Truck Friday?
Yeah, that's true. It is Food Truck Friday.
The Orioles are probably not going to win a World Series. But right now, they have the 3rd best record in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Why not enjoy that? Why not focus on the good instead of the bad?
I'll try my best.
Why not
until they're down 4-0 to the Astros in the second inning tonight.
Why not wait to be depressed until you actually got something to be depressed about?
Okay, fair enough.
All right?
Fair
Jacob
enough.
DeGrom's back for crying out loud.
Okay, good. I'm happy for him.
Me too.
Number 4.
Jellyroll spoke to the... You like Jellyroll, don't you? Everybody likes Jellyroll.
Yeah, he seems like a really good dude.
Jellyroll?
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
He seems like he's had quite a life.
Yeah, that's why I saw this video last night and I was like, man, I want to play that.
Bennett sent this to me. Look at Jellyroll, Grammy-nominated artist Jellyroll. He's speaking to the Tennessee Titans. Let's show you what he said. Take it over, Jellyroll.
When the Titans came here in the late 90s, my father took me down to Memphis because that's where the first season was. And we watched the opening game. I think it was against the Oakland Raiders.
I was there.
140 degrees. It was miserable. I'll never forget it because it was something for this city. At this time, this city was smaller than Columbus, Ohio. So as a point of perspective, this was a really small town. So for us to have something, so this was a really, really big deal for the locals. All of our family were bartenders. So as soon as the Titans came, boy, we knew that Sunday was a money day. And I want y'all to think about that too when y'all go on that field Sunday, that y'all's impact is bigger than just on the field. It's happening all around this city. That your impact in this city is bigger than just the 65,000 people that come to watch y'all every single week. There are people that are counting on this organization to continue to thrive because it's feeding us. And I don't have a bunch of inspiring. I'm not a football guy. I don't know how to scream at y'all and make y'all fired up, but I can tell you that your purpose is so much bigger than on that field. And that every little thing you're doing from the front row right here in Will and the OGs of this team all the way to the back and the new coaches is affecting this city.
That got me fired up.
You ready to run through a wall for Coach Jellyroll?
That got me fired up.
You ready to run through a wall for Coach Jellyroll?
The reason I wanted to play it too is because he mentioned that I was at that game too, the Raiders game. That was my first NFL.
Was it hot? Was it as hot as Jellyroll said?
So hot. It was my first NFL game. It was the Tennessee Oilers and the Oakland Raiders at the Liberty Bowl. I like his persona, his attitude. I can remember talking to Lil White at the Memphis Italian Festival
Benny, come on.
years ago.
Name drop
he's
it.
a man of the people. He's always out and about.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You say that? Like, I think every time I've seen Lil White, it's at Italian Fest.
Yeah, dude. He's always out there.
I don't think I've ever been at Italian Fest without kicking it with Lil White for a minute.
But okay, so I'm talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I got a new single coming out with Jellyroll," and I was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Who's that?" And now he's like one of the biggest stars in the country.
Similarly, we went to a show at the Graceland Soundstage a few years ago, and we Ubered there because we're being responsible. So we Ubered there, and we got to get the driver to drop us off. And we're trying to figure out where to go. Because at this time, I don't think I'd ever been there for a show. And just sort of chit-chatting with the driver. And he's like, so were you guys here last night? And I was like, no, what was going on last night? He's like, oh, it was a big show last night, packed. And I was like, who was it? He was like, Jellyroll. And I was like, what is Jellyroll? I'd never heard of it. Didn't know. Now, it's impossible not to hear of Jellyroll.
No, he's a huge star now.
He's prominently featured on Eminem's new album.
Yep.
I think got the closing track.
Yep. Now, he's got a good voice. He's got a really good voice. And he seems like a good dude. I thought that was cool. And it just, it made me feel nostalgic when I heard him talking about Memphis and being at that game. I was like, man, that brings back memories.
So, some interesting stuff going on because, once upon a time, face tattoos, they would have, there was some stuff people might think stuff about you.
Sure.
But now, think about this. Jellyroll, face tattoos. People love him. They say he's the nicest guy in the world. Post Malone, face tattoos. People love him. Say he's the nicest guy in the world.
That's true.
Are we changing how we feel about face tattoos?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it, but I ain't against it.
I'm not against it.
No.
I mean, I know I wouldn't do it, but I'm not against it. Like, if you wanted to get your face tattooed, I'd probably tell you it's a bad idea, but
I kind of want one right here.
For what?
Like on the back of my ear.
Why would you want a tattoo on the back of your ear?
Back there.
I know why.
Yeah, I just do.
You have no reason. See, everything's got to make sense to me, or else I don't understand.
No, it's what people tell you, it's an addiction. It's that once you get one, you want to get a bunch.
A little bit like Dr. Pepper's.
Yes, it really is.
It took everything I had yesterday not to grab a full strength Dr. Pepper. I reached into the cooler, and they had the white Diet Dr. Peppers right there next to the regular full-strength Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
I struggled. I made the right choice. Bennett. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to dump 240 calories right into my throat.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay?
Yeah.
I made the right choice. But after accidentally ordering a normal Dr. Pepper a day prior and then experiencing it for the first time in like a decade, I got jittery a little bit. Like
Did you?
I wanted it again.
Yeah,
it was like I got
yeah,
my first taste in a while, and I wanted to go right. I wanted to get right back on that horse. But I made the right decision.
Yeah.
I mean, and tattoos, you say, are similar to Dr. Pepper in that way.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I like his though. He pulls them off.
He pulls it off.
Yep.
People like Jellyroll. He's a big star now, and there's a real message in there for the Titans because what he's saying is true.
It's very true.
And same logic applies here. When the Grizzlies are great and filling up that arena consistently,
everybody sees it.
It's good for Silkies. It's good for Alfred's. It's good for the Westin. It's good for everything downtown. And when Ja's hurt, Jaren's hurt, team is not so good, you got a bunch of players in Grizzlies uniforms, but you don't recognize them as Grizzlies. Fewer people start coming to the games. You know what that means? Fewer people are in the bars, in the restaurants, post-game dinners, pre-game dinners. Fewer people are buying beers and hot dogs inside FedEx Forum.
Yep.
Like, the impact that basketball team has on the, at least, downtown economy is pretty significant. And obviously it's true in Nashville as well with a variety of things, but among them that football franchise. Like, you only get so many home games per year, but those are big money days for the bars and the restaurants and everything around that stadium. So it's a nice message for Jellyroll to deliver.
Yep.
All right?
I think so, too.
Go Titans.
Go Titans. I can't wait for the season.
Oh, it's less than 2 weeks away.
It's less than 2 weeks away. They said Nuke's going to be back in time. I'm ready, dude.
Oh,
I'm ready. Again, no expectations. I don't think we're going to be great, but I'm ready to be surprised.
Bennett wants to be surprised by the Titans.
I'm ready to be surprised.
All right. Well, I hope you're surprised.
Number 5.
It's here, Bennett. College football is here. Mike Norvell will run out of the tunnel tomorrow as his Florida State Seminoles open their season in Dublin against Georgia Tech.
Uh-huh.
Imagine going all the way to Ireland just to play a stupid football game against some Yellow Jackets.
Oh, I like this.
You like going to Dublin?
I do. I like this. I like this new thing that they've been doing. We're going to be at Aviva Stadium.
Yeah, I know where we're at.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that Florida's week 0. We don't have to lie to ourselves. It's like crappy, right?
Yeah.
Right. You get this game. This has become like the premier game of week 0. And last year, it was like Northwestern and Nebraska, I think.
There's always like one.
Yeah. But I like that it's Florida State because we play them in a couple weeks.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch.
Get our eyes on them. See what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're going to Dublin to play college football.
Well, we're trying to grow the game.
Should send Caitlin Clark then.
We're trying to grow the game.
Then send Caitlin Clark.
I think the WNBA should do a game in Dublin.
No, I think Caitlin Clark should play college football.
Just go play college football?
Yeah, I think Caitlin Clark should go play college football in Ireland, and that's how you grow the game.
Yeah.
Right? Caitlin Clark is the key to growing the game.
Yeah.
Big miss. Big miss by the ACC not to have Caitlin Clark. You know what I don't like about week 0?
What?
And I appreciate you not falling for this. People trying to get excited about week 0. People trying to act like, man, what are you doing on Saturday? Montana State and New Mexico are playing. I don't like it when people try to get excited for Montana State and New Mexico. I don't like it when people say, it's football. I'll watch any football. And I know there are people who really will. But I won't. I will only watch compelling football.
Okay, so you know what
I will never turn on Montana State, New Mexico.
Okay, you know what I'm annoyed with? Because you know how I feel about Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
Like they've just always been so kind to us, whereas they're the last team playing.
Yeah,
and so,
they're up late. They stay up late.
Yeah, and if you stay up late like me and you want some action,
they'll be there for you.
They are there for you every time. But you can never watch their freaking games, man. Like they have the worst TV situation in college football. It's crazy. Like they have like 6 games this year that you just can't watch.
They play Delaware State tomorrow night at 11.
You can't watch it. You cannot watch that game.
There has to be a way to watch it.
Where? I think you can like order it on pay-per-view.
Well, then that would be the way, Bennett. You just answered your own question.
Well, okay. Listen, I
will you buy Hawaii against Delaware State?
How much we talking?
I don't know. Let's see. Hawaii, Delaware State. Let's see how bad of a gambling problem you got. Hawaii, Delaware State TV. Tell me how to watch it.
Yeah, I think pay-per-view, right?
How to watch. Just click this. Bennett, I'm getting there. I didn't know we was going to be talking about Hawaii and Delaware State when I woke up today. Okay, we're going to do the game tomorrow. TV, Spectrum pay-per-view. Spectrum pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view.
Yeah. I wonder how much that's going to cost.
Let's call it $20. Are you willing to pay $20 for Hawaii, Delaware State?
No.
Can I get you for 15?
Maybe, depending on how I'm feeling.
What's the difference between 15 and 20 besides 5?
I don't know, man. 20 seems steep for.
You think 20 is too much to ask?
I mean, if they were playing like a D1, is Delaware even Division I? Like,
Bennett, don't get me to lying about Delaware State.
I'm just like, I don't know, man.
You know what? I'm going to skip it, Bennett. I'm just going to assume I'm going to be asleep.
Yeah.
Or blacked out by 11 o'clock on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I ain't even going to worry about it. It ain't none of my business.
I appreciate week 0 in the sense that I can turn my TV on and like I'm starting to get the feel of
get you ready.
Real football games.
It get you ready. Yeah. It's like a tune-up.
It's a tune-up.
It's
for
like
sure.
It's like you're gonna wake up on Saturday and just start, acting like you got a football Saturday. You don't really have a real football Saturday, but there will be some football on, and you can act like it's get you ready for the next weekend.
Yeah.
Florida State and Georgia Tech. It's gonna kick off at 11 a.m. You'll be able to watch it on ESPN Live from Ireland. Be back with GP's Carryout.
I actually saw these on TikTok before you guys even sent them to me. This is an interesting concept. They're socks that are anti-creasing.
The socks look really comfy.
They do.
But the anti-creasing thing, like, look, why are we still doing this?
So the kids now, they're on the earth. If you see them walking, they walk like
My mom's a gym teacher, and she says like kids will like.
I think that's always
Who
what they're
cares? The Sneak Fest Show live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
In Bo we trust. Bo is the future. I just want to go back to August 19th when I've made it perfectly clear. When I make the fantasy football championship and the Broncos make the playoffs because of the success of Bo Nix. The bar is low. Give me Bo. That's a good one. The bar is low. Give me Bo.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com.
Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
You know what that is? That's Food Truck Friday.
I wonder what's going on in that middle truck.
I don't know what's
There's no
going on
signage on it.
Oh, Ben, we're gonna have to get out there. We're gonna have to get out there and explore a little bit. We're gonna have to get out there and explore a little bit. It's Food Truck Friday. Man, there ain't nothing I like better than Food Truck Friday.
Me either. I'm excited.
Hey, let's get serious about this.
Go.
Let's get serious about this. Hit that button.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but can I hit you with some breaking news from this morning?
What's up?
You know, last week we were really focused on golf because the PGA Tour, the FedEx St. Jude Championship, was happening out at TPC Southwind. As you know, it's a playoff event, and the playoffs have now moved on to beautiful Castle Rock, Colorado for the BMW Championship. You think Jessica Benson, you think she's just following around the PGA Tour?
Maybe so.
Maybe she's just following the PGA. We'll know for sure if she's in Atlanta next week. Anyway, big headline out of the BMW Championship this morning. Hideki Matsuyama, your reigning and recent FedEx St. Jude champion, he had to withdraw.
Oh, what happened?
He hurt his back.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Welcome to the club. I've had to withdraw from golf because of my hurt back before.
I've had to withdraw from a lot of things.
I've had to withdraw. I've withdrawn myself.
Yeah.
I've withdrawn before.
You know what's pathetic?
What is pathetic?
That my wife bought me, and I love it. It's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah.
My wife bought me one of those Theragun things.
I think we own one.
And I use it all the time.
You massage yourself?
All the time.
Wow, Bennett. Does it feel good?
Yeah. It does.
It does feel good.
It does.
You ever
Those
get hurt
things are great.
You ever get hurt to massage you?
Yeah, with the Theragun. Yeah.
How's that?
Great.
Yeah?
It's great.
Do you have to...
Yeah, it sets the mood. Is that what you're trying to get to?
No,
yeah,
I don't really know where I'm trying to take this.
Yeah.
I don't really
That's
know
our foreplay, getting the Theragun out.
Do you use it on each other?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's really spiced up the relationship.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I think it's important in any relationship.
Yeah.
To keep things as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So maybe we all could use a Theragun.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
I guess. I think that's what you call it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that's enough for that.
Leave it at that.
What's today's biggest game?
Bennett, I'm taking you back to the NFL.
Oh, great.
Let's see if you can do better than you did last night.
This isn't fair.
There's a number on the game. You could take whatever team you want. Yesterday, you tried to you switched yourself into a loss. You realize you did that
because I don't care because you did it. You switched yourself into a loss. You said, "Give me the Bears," and I said, "Okay, Bears," and then you were like, "I want the Chiefs." Okay, because
well, now you lost.
I was like, all right, well, the Chiefs will play their backups. They'll play Carson Wentz. He's been a serviceable NFL quarterback. Dude, they played like a quarterback who's probably not even going to be on the team. Like, I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Bennett, I think I'm taking you to Raymond James Stadium. It's a Florida battle between the Dolphins and the Buccaneers. The Dolphins are 2-0.
Okay.
The Bucs are 1-1. Kick tonight's at 6:30. Tampa Bay, 3-point favorite. Total's 37.5. How you going to act?
Give me. I'll just take the Bucs. I mean, what do I know? I don't know. I don't know. Is Tua going to play? Is Baker going to play? I don't know.
Bennett, I don't know either.
Yeah, I'll just take the Bucs.
Bennett says just take the Bucs. He has no reason whatsoever to do it.
I don't know how to do this.
He doesn't know anything about it, but he says take Tampa Bay. Your record is now 142, 143, and 4. You're one game under 500. You're negative 16.1 units. Woo! Man, you ain't good at this.
What are we watching on TV?
WWE SmackDown tonight, Fox, 7 o'clock.
Actually, will he be? I mean, we're in the dead period right now.
I mean, I think you can't let Jacob Fatu bust the original tribal chief up last week like he did and not bring him back.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
I don't think you can do that. Let me tell you what else we got going on tonight.
What's going on?
The Bloodline is going to battle the Street Profits in a WWE Tag Team Championship match.
Okay.
How you feel about the Street Profits?
I like them. I think that they are doing them. I think that they've kind of been done a disservice a little bit. They got kind of buried, and they're just doing some weird things. I like the Street Profits.
Well, there ain't no way they're going to upset the Bloodline.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh, Bennett, you're predicting something here.
I don't think I'm predicting. I wouldn't be so sure.
LA Knight going to defend his United States Championship title against Santos Escobar.
Oh, well, he'll retain.
Yeah. Grayson Waller effect tonight with special guest Cody Rhodes.
Oh, that'll be fun. I'll watch it. Yeah, I like that.
I got caught up in the convention this week. I didn't really, if I'm being honest, I didn't pay close of attention to Raw.
I didn't either.
I'm ready to get my head back in the game tonight. I'm ready to get my head back in the game tonight. 7 o'clock, Fox.
What's the best thing we've read?
So, Candid Coach's question that published this morning, Matt Norlander handled this one, CBSSports.com. We asked more than 100 college coaches the following question. Should players get a 5th year of eligibility if they stay at one school? In other words, college basketball players, college football players get 4 years of eligibility. Mm-hmm. But in this era of constant movement, if you are loyal enough, for lack of a better word, to remain at a school for 4 years, should you get a 5th year of eligibility? And it was interesting because we got a lot of responses from coaches, and they were like, I've never really thought about this. This is an interesting idea, though. But the voting was pretty split. 53% said yes, and 47% said no. For the 53% that said yes, they largely pointed to what I just said. It's very hard to keep people at the same school for any extended period of time now. But we still do fundamentally think that is the best thing. Forget for a student athlete, but just for a student. You shouldn't be bouncing around from one campus to another. You're losing course classes and credits, and it's just not the ideal way to go through college, bouncing from one campus to the next to the next. So if we believe that to be true, why not provide an incentive for people to stay put? And that incentive would be, you can get a 5th year of school, so you don't have to rush through to get your bachelor's, or if you can rush through and get your bachelor's and then start on a master's. Hey, I don't know if you heard, but there's big NIL money available. Maybe you're not future NBA player, but you're a really good college player. And somebody might give you $1 million to play college basketball. If you stay at this same school for 4 years, then you can get a 5th year at that school. Maybe that's an extra $1 million just to play college basketball, more money than you'll ever get to play basketball again at the professional level. So that's among the reasons the people who said yes. And then the reason some people said no, I thought this was interesting. Some of them, and we're not allowed to tell you who votes or how they vote, but a lot of the no's came from coaches at big-time programs. And do you know what their no is? Tied to? Wouldn't help me. Because most of the players I'm recruiting are projected one-and-done type guys or future pros. So I'm not, if I recruit Zion Williamson, what is the point of me having the opportunity to keep him for 4 years so he can get a 5th year of eligibility because he's only staying here for 1 anyway? So you know who this helps? The schools who can't recruit the pros. I'm recruiting the pros. They're leaving after 1 year anyway. I don't want other people keeping players for 5. So some of it comes down to how you answer this question. Well, what's important to you? How will it impact the program at which you work right now? But either way, the voting was pretty split, 53-47. You can read it. It's on the homepage, cbssports.com.
What's on tap next week?
Will be week 1 of college football.
Yeah, it will.
Week 1 of college football. Oh, man, that's when you know it's here, right?
Yes, sir.
That's when you know it's here, Bennett. Week 1 of college football.
Yeah, we got a pretty... actually, it really doesn't kick off until the weekend.
Yeah, it don't really pop off until the weekend. But do you want to get excited?
I'm excited.
Do you want to get excited? I can sort of tell you what we're looking at for next weekend.
Oh, we got some big ones on Saturday to start the season. I mean, Clemson, Georgia's massive. You got Penn State, West Virginia. You got Miami and Florida. You got some pretty big games. Notre Dame, Texas A&M. You got some big games. Week 1.
You better get ready. You better come in here Monday with your game face on. All right?
Will.
No more playing around.
USC, LSU.
No more playing around. All right? The off season's over, Bennett. No more playing around. You come in here Monday. It's football week. All right?
Let's go.
No more goofing around from you. Okay? It's football week next week. I'm ready to go too. Enjoy your weekend.
Yep.
I'm going to enjoy mine. If you have Food Truck Friday, we'll see you in just a minute. Talk to you Monday. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.